Up, Brad. This is where we cook foods. These are foods. This is the food zone. It's good, man. It's really good. I need to make it way more prevalent than it's been. I got old man joints. I blame skateboarding as a young man.
Didn't you break your elbow a couple years ago?
Yeah, right in the middle of a tour. I actually, before I went to the hospital, I ended up playing 37 shows with a broken elbow. Didn't know that it was broken until after the 37 shows.
How you doing with all the baby stuff?
It's pretty good, man. He's been interesting the past couple days, but I love it a lot, man. It's pretty special. It's I don't think people realize how consuming it is. And I used to kind of have this, you know, I would take the kids to school or like have that morning and then would be by myself for 7 hours a day. And that is no more. There is no alone time anymore.
The baby!
In his monkey outfit, I love it. Come here, boy.
Yeah, he needs changed. Spoopy.
Oh. Come on. Oh, guy. So much poo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the good stuff there. How's your mom doing? You.
You think you could handle more of a flow class?
Yeah.
That's more what you need in the flow.
It's a weird thing, like I think back about it all the time, like I wasn't that good of a skateboarder. So like my thing was always like, oh, I'll jump off that shit, you know? And it's just like, I remember taking so many slams that I was like, oh, you should call it a day, and being like, no. Do you yet? You wanna say it on camera?
No.
You sure?
No, I don't think you'd like it.
Oh, the honesty factor, high. Flax milk, soy milk, cow milk, almond milk? Cow? Man, actually my head's kind of crazy right now because I have a jiu-jitsu tournament tomorrow. I've never competed before, you know, and the idea of like 6 strangers that really want to like break your arm off or choke you unconscious. That's pretty heavy on the mind right now. Carl and I have been texting back and forth all morning because we're working on a new record, and that's like cruising along, getting ready for another tour in like a month, but that time off between tours is always like pretty hectic. And yeah, there's lots going on, mainly with the new record, you know, like decided to not work with the record label, which is a crazy endeavor to take on all the financial stuff myself, but like I'm really focused on like trying to do everything different and do it like my own way and not be lots going on in the dome. This is my art teacher, Mr. Weiss. He's like the biggest influence on me when I was young. Like he was the first person that was like, you know, if you feel in your heart that you're an artist, then like fuck what anyone else says, make art and then sell it to everyone that said that you couldn't. You wait till you see his face. Like this is his thing, man. He loves it.
Oh, how is that?
Whoa.
It's grabbing.
You know when you're a kid and you have a peach or a plum, you just like eat it and like totally make a mess of yourself? I just started doing this.
Yes.
Look at how much of the plum I'm using. And then you can chop it up and eat it with a fork. I think it was once you get a beard, you like start to be like, man, how can I not make this sticky all day? This morning, is over 1 million on Spotify. Yeah, super cool. It's crazy, man. That song almost like, it's weird that that's the song, you know, like it almost wasn't even a thing. Like I almost didn't release it. And then it's usually not what I would think that people would attach to. Luckily I still get joy out of playing it just because it's like, so like this last tour was really the first tour that we like sold tickets, you know? So it was like a really weird thing where like, you know, previously like when we were on the road with Francie or whatever, you're like playing to a huge crowd, but you know, like 10% of them know who you are. So this was the first time that, you know, 100% of the crowd knew who we were, but it's cool. Like my favorite thing that's made me fall in love with some of those songs that I'm like, oh, this is my 10,000th time playing it, is when you start like the opening riff and everyone is like, yeah! It's like, that's such a cool thing where it's like, all right, I mean, if you like it this much, that makes me like it more, you know?
He likes the butt. The spots.
I used to be this really gnarly, like, remember the 80s like sponge action that they used to do? It was that. And then we're like, oh, it's gonna be the baby's room. So painted the walls, brought the crib up, and then we just decided to put the crib in the room, which is dope, because now it's my office again. You know what we're gonna do right now? I'm a collector of fine, limited edition jiu-jitsu gis. So I want to clear this up for the record. Okay. Jiu-jitsu is a huge part of my life, but when people think jiu-jitsu, they think of like, oh yeah, my 8-year-old does taekwondo. No, what we're talking about is 2 grown men allowed to do pretty much everything except punch and kick each other. Like when you watch like UFC, when you watch mixed martial arts, anything that isn't punching and kicking is jiu-jitsu. So the choking and the arm locks and all the submissions, so that's what it is. But, so this guy here, show-your-old competitor, super stoked. It's dope. Some people collect sneakers, comic books. Like if Zach De La Roque had a jiu-jitsu gi, this is what he would wear, I think. This one is a reggae themed show-your-roll. There's an underprivileged school in Jamaica that takes orphans and they teach them how to play reggae music called, and they call this people that attend it the Alpha Boys. So they did this gi to raise money for that school, which is pretty dope. Limited edition albino Preto. Haven't worn this one very much. My son just started, so at some point he's gonna probably get one of these. And then this is the brand new one. I think I'll wear this tomorrow. The comp. So this is a tribute. So when all the soldiers were in Guam during World War II, it's like all the Navajo code talkers. They taught a lot of them jiu-jitsu while they were on the island. So this gi is like to that story, but if my wife saw all these, she would kill me. Thanks, I have like 3 gis. Carl and I did just track some guitar up here, which is why all this stuff is out. The bass line for me, what I'm always looking for is like pedals are sweet, and it's like sprinkle and crack, but it's like I'm always on a never-ending quest for like what a guitar sounds like just in an amp, and like the combo of a tube amp and a guitar, and like I'm not even on the like hipster shit of like loving vintage shit for the sake of loving vintage shit. Dude, old Fender guitars and old Fender amps. Like, it's just such a funny thing. Carl and I joke about it all the time. That like, they were constantly trying to improve technology, and now we're constantly in the realm of like trying to like go back, because there's those sounds. It's like
I think it's so rad that people are finding out your music, because they shouldn't be. No, I think it's so.
Watching Satsang grow from the bottom, getting up to being able to play in front of hundreds and hundreds of people has been really cool.
Oh, okay.
When you were playing at the pub, it was kind of just like a few people, and they were kind of there for, drinks.
It's been awesome to see they started off from the bottom, and
Then it goes to this, like, you playing at festivals with thousands of people, all of them like singing your songs and like cheering, and yeah.
ended up growing into something that's helping a lot of people and being shared.
What was the question again?
oh, I'm putting that in there right there. Just that was so good. Is it weird for you to see that and then be like back home? Just kind of watching it happen on the internet?
It is definitely weird to see that and then just have you be here. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's really weird. I remember when you guys would be sitting in a bar and people wouldn't really listen to you, and now they're caring, which is cool to see.
It's probably really weird just like being in front of thousands of people and then being with just 5 really close people.
Why do you think that I want to live in Red Lodge forever?
Because the people of Red Lodge kind of mind their own business and they don't really like get involved and are super weird, which is pretty cool to go away from that, kind of be shielded by that.
I think what's special about living in Red Lodge is that it's small, like people care about you, and then they're not really connected with the outside world though. So it's more of they care about the person that you are more than they care about what you're doing.
It's like kind of a mellow, you can just go skiing in the winter, you can go on hikes.
Hike, fish, pretty much anything, ski a lot.
Friends. Like everyone kind of knows everyone.
Have I ever coached soccer?
Yeah, definitely.
How big do you think Satsang will get?
Fairly big.
Did you see his little face, dude? He's like...
That's what I like to hear there.
You want me to just hold it there for you so you can suck on it? Yeah, you like that. You like that we have the same haircut?
Have you talked to Cole?
Nope, nothing. No text, no nothing. It's insane that we live here. Like, people come from all over the world to be in these mountains, and they're like right there, and I think our kids, it's just all they've ever known, so it doesn't really intrigue them, but like that's why for me it's so important to stay here, is because that hasn't ever gone anywhere for me. Like, there's nothing about those mountains that is monotonous or boring to me. Like, I hike the same 5 trails, and every time I'm there I'm like in awe that it's my home. Two steps out, and then I just like felt this thing, and I looked up, full bull moose, dude. Like, full rack, and I just like dropped the trash and like slowly walked back in the door. But do you remember that last summer or the summer before?
Yeah, because we were arguing, he came in all super surprised to come tell me, and I was like, whatever.
No, literally, there was a giant moose outside our door. To the mountains. Hell of a day. Yeah, man, we had such a good winter that I think like it's really scared off a lot of that fire danger. Yeah, no smoke. Love that. Yeah, man, I love it here, like so much. Like, I think the thing too is like there's a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot, but like I think most people get tired of where they live, It's because they don't travel. So it's like the people that are like You know, there's downsides to the small town. Like if you want a restaurant that's open after 9, it's totally not going to happen. Food options are pretty limited if you don't cook. But man, yeah, every time I come home, you know, like when you're coming down 212 and you can like start to see the bear tooths, it's just like, it's the most comforting feeling in the world to me. Yeah, it never gets old. We just had the Harley Rodeo, and it's funny how whenever there's a thing here, how fast it transforms, you know, like it turns into a motorcycle rally and it's like down every street and this whole crazy thing. And then the day after it's done, it's just boom, it's just back to its normal self, which is pretty rad. Yeah, they've been, you know, since the 70s, from what I understand, it was like, they've always been trying to make this place like the next Aspen. You know, they're like some investor, whoever the fuck's gonna come in, and you know, the mountain has changed hands 13 times, but it just has never happened. Like, there's really cool things like the city planning, you know, it's written in that drive-thrus aren't allowed. So like, that alone keeps, you know, garbage food out. You know, there's varying political, religious, like all those things here, but everyone does a really good job of like leaving each other the fuck alone and just letting each other be. And the way that I've seen like Red Lodge come together when someone like our friend Logan was in a ski accident, and watching how quick the community like raised money for his family, and like everyone here just steps up for each other. Everyone really takes care of each other. Pretty much primetime location for the apocalypse if it goes down. You know, not much would change here. We just start trading better. Yeah, the relationship with Brian and Matt at Artifact, our management company, is a pretty cool one, man. Like, I linked up with Brian because everyone was like, oh, you know, he's in the music industry, and like at that time Satsang was shifting into like me wanting a full band, and during that change, and we had just been like working on the story of you at the time. You know, I've always known how to hustle, but they like showed me how to actually do the business thing. You know, it's a little different than the hustling that I was used to, but they showed me how to be a music hustler, and I put my work ethic into their framework, and here we are. Get a look at this fire view room. I snowshoed up in between these two one winter.